Warning, this video may cause your mind to explode. If you like your brain and enjoy living to see miscellaneous crap on YouTube, please turn off this video and play some Superman 64 from Titus. You know what? Never mind, fuck it. You know, I don't care what anyone says. SpongeBob SquarePants is fucking awesome. Yes, even the hard-headed Mr. Minion has a soft spot for Steven Hillenburg's lovable little peripheron. How can I not? The dude has even more chortles than I do. In what originally aired as a once superb cartoon show on Nickelodeon, this media franchise has gone well beyond what all other cartoons in the early 2000s typically went through. The SpongeBob cartoon show was so damn popular in the early 2000s that there was obviously loads of merchandise that would soon follow in its wake. There were SpongeBob toys, books, clothing, an awesome feature-length film, and so much more. Now don't worry, I'm not going to spend this entire video simply explaining how damn successful SpongeBob is, but I do plan to talk about one of the greatest things spawned from the cartoon show, the video games. To tell you how it is, most of the SpongeBob games are well above decent. Despite having some mediocre installments that'll leave you saying, oh god, just kill me now. There are some of these games that are just so damn good that they rank up with some of my favorite games of all time. So it's about time I pay tribute to good old Mr. SquarePants for all the joy he's given me with the 5 following games. I figured 10 was overkill for this topic, so I'm just going to leave it at 5. With all that said and done, let's bring this around town. When it comes to party games, there are usually a lot of these games that tend to be unoriginal. By that, I mean most of them feel way too much like Mario Party, which leads them to have a stale feel. Why am I bringing this up? Simple. Like many iconic mascots in the gaming world, SpongeBob himself has had his own party game. However, SpongeBob was treated way better than all of those Mario Party clones. Midbis, spotlight please. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, lights, camera,
pants.
This game. Oh man, I love this game. Lights, Camera, Pants is one of the most addicting party games I've ever played. It has an intriguing plot, stupidly fun mini-games, and it's just an assload of fun for all. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent with my friends playing this overdose of chaos. There's quite a bit to cover, so let's take this step by step. First, I'll talk about the plot. Unlike most party games, Lights, Camera, Pants actually has a very interesting and a well-executed plot. It goes a little something like this. The producers of the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy TV show are filming a very special episode within Bikini Bottom itself and plan to use the local citizens of the town as actors. Because of this extremely obvious opportunity at fame, every single one of the main characters wants to steal the spotlight for themselves. So SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Sandy, Mr. Krabs, and Plankton must compete in 30 different auditions in order to get the coveted role of the new villain, the Sneaky Hermit. Each one of the auditions in the main story are played simply as ridiculously addicting minigames. Each character must compete against one another in order to reach the top and impress the director known as Gil Hammerstein, who sounds like Sid from Ice Age.
Good one, pal.
One thing I must admit is that this game is hilarious. The humor in this game is brilliant, and it's present specifically within the cutscenes. Sure, the cutscenes may have awkwardly designed character models in them, but all is forgiven when the sheer hilarity bitch slaps you across the face. Especially during Mermaid Man's dialogue.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about cabbage. You were saying?
Hey Mermaid Man, what did you think of Black Ops?
I thought it was a bit stale and hard to lift.
I couldn't resist. Not only is this game fun to watch, but it's also really fun to play, too. With a total of 30 different minigames that all last around 3 minutes, you're bound to have a crazy amount of fun with your friends. Whether it be inflating your pants to fly, bungeeing off a cliff to catch jellyfish, or even battling it out on unicycles, every single one of the minigames are fun to play. Like seriously, they're all just so ridiculous. But in a good kind of way. While I like all of the minigames, there are 2 in particular that simply stand out. Rock Bottom and Flingin' and Swingin'. Do you like hectic bullshit? Well, Flingin' and Swingin' will not disappoint. What you have to do here is to simply see how many pegs you can grab onto while scaling the high-rise apartment. What's really fun is when you build up your momentum and fly all over the place. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I'm a cannonball! Yeah! No, wait, slow down! While Flingin' and Swingin' needed some explanation, I don't even have to talk about Rock Bottom. All you need to do is watch because holy hell, this is badass. You the man, SpongeBob. I could talk about this game all day, but I really wouldn't do it justice. You really need to play this game for yourself. With its clever humor, superb multiplayer experience, addicting minigames, and an overall joyful feel throughout, Lights Camera Pants is a multi-port classic that anyone can fall in love with. If you're one that has a knack for party games, there is no way you can overlook this one. Now, let's talk a little more about SpongeBob's successes in the world of video games. I think you already get the point that SpongeBob has truly made a name for himself. But there's something SpongeBob has done that very few video games have rarely ever pulled off. If you think having an original and fun game in the party genre is odd, just wait until you hear this. SpongeBob has also had a video game based off of his own 2004 feature-length film adaptation. And you know what? It's awesome! Okay, without hesitating, I can safely say that this is the greatest movie-based game I have ever played through. The movie was damn good as it is, but the game was also treated wonderfully in the hands of THQ and Heavy Iron Studios. Just like in the movie, SpongeBob and Patrick must travel to the infamously dangerous Shell City in order to retrieve Neptune's crown, save Mr. Krabs, and put an end to Plankton's devilish Plan Z. Being based off the movie, the SpongeBob movie game follows the film in the best way possible. Sure, the scenarios are based only loosely off scenes from the movie, but it really does it justice by showing you all the detailed locations and important scenes from the movie in a glorious 3D environment. Every location, every character, every important scene from the movie all tied together into this multi-port gem of a console game. Now, this game gets an awful lot of bashing from fans and critics, merely from the fact that the game's overall gameplay and graphics engine was recycled from the previous installment. Okay, yes, that could be classified as a lazy move on THQ's part, but I like to think of it more as an expansion on the gameplay rather than a lazy design choice. Besides, it's only a problem if the game itself is bad. And let me tell you, it's far from that. Heavy Iron Studios took every location from the movie and turned them all into 18 huge levels for the player to explore and complete numerous different tasks to earn Goofy Goober tokens along the way. Obviously enough, you play as both SpongeBob and Patrick in this game, and both of their movesets are completely different from each other. Each of them have their own specific abilities that can be upgraded for an awesome and chaotic effect, ranging from Patrick's uber cartwheel and even SpongeBob's epic sonic wave guitar. In the main platforming levels, SpongeBob and Patrick must fight their way through countless bucket heads and cripple Plankton's control over the sea. Whether it be destroying the propaganda towers in the desert, or sabotaging Plankton's televised broadcast in the outskirts of Shell City. All of these areas are well crafted and have a lot of stuff to do in them. In addition to the standard levels, there are also driving stages with the paddy wagon, as well as fast-paced and chaotic slide levels. I especially like the slide levels, as there is nothing but non-stop chaos on all of the slides. This game can actually be really challenging sometimes. I can't tell you how long it took me to make it past the monster of a level known as Planktopolis. And holy shit, as awesome as it is, the final duel with Buckethead King Neptune is extremely challenging. Like, holy shit, you think that's enough energy beams? Rather than go in deeper detail about every aspect from the whole game, you really should go play it for yourself. Even if for some reason you hate the movie, don't let that ruin your chance with this game. Take my advice, you won't be disappointed with it. If you thought the idea of having a good movie-based game is strange, then you're gonna love this one. At this point, things can only get more bizarre as we continue on to the next entry. I'm sensing some major flexibility here. I mean, we went from a unique party game to a great movie-based game to the weirdest fucking game I have ever played. Regardless of the possible backlash I'm gonna get for this, I can't lie to you guys on this one. Creature from the Krusty Krab is one of the most stimulating, unique, entertaining, and downright fucking bizarre games I have ever encountered. And I love every single minute of it. After the awesomeness of the SpongeBob movie game and Lights Camera Pants, THQ needed something new brought to the table. No duplicate gameplay rehashes, and no recycled character movesets. They simply needed to concoct a new style for the next game in the series. So they tweaked around a bit, had a little dose of LSD, and what that resulted in was one of the downright best SpongeBob games ever to be released. Unlike its platforming predecessor, Creature from the Krusty Krab takes a break from all that Plan Z mayhem and takes a look at what the World of Dreams has to offer. The plot really isn't all that important, but the main idea is that SpongeBob, Patrick, and even Plankton has drifted deep into sleep and go on absurdly bizarre adventures while their dreams intertwine with one another. That's really all you need to know. Like I said, the plot isn't all that important. Besides, all of it is a bigger mindfuck than Earthworm Jim. And yes, I did just reference that. But what really ranks Creature from the Krusty Krab this high is its gameplay. Out of all the SpongeBob games, Creature from the Krusty Krab has the widest variety of gameplay aspects within it. Ranging from racing, platforming, and even on-rail shooting, Creature from the Krusty Krab is my favorite SpongeBob game when concerning gameplay elements. There are a total of 9 different chapters in this game, most of which have their own distinctive style of gameplay. For SpongeBob's side of the story, you get to race hot rods, explore the bowels of an Alaskan bullworm, and even live through a classic B-movie scenario. For Patrick's story, you fight as a superhero in a comic book setting, travel through space while flying on a rocket, and save the entire town from utter destruction. But what really sells it for me is finally being able to play as my all-time favorite SpongeBob character, Plankton. Yes, you heard me correctly. We finally get to play as Mr. Lawrence's wicked copepod persona, and it does not disappoint. The Plankton stages are based around his attempts at fleeing from and pursuing a specific Krabby Patty. In his first chapter, you simply run away from a gigantic living Krabby Patty while dispatching enemies and obstacles with your freeze ray. Simple, straightforward, and oh so addicting. But without a doubt, the best part of the game is when Plankton finally gets his Enlargatron working properly. Anyone remember the episode Sleepy Time? Remember how in Plankton's dream, he's a towering giant and possesses the ability to shoot lasers from his eyes? Well, we finally get to experience that scenario ourselves in Revenge of the Giant Plankton Monster. And oh god, it's awesome. The objective is very simple. Just destroy every fucking thing in sight. Literally, you destroy everything. Eventually, Plankton's increase in size and power becomes a serious predicament and forms into the final conflict of the game. It is brilliant. It is just brilliant. Okay, I'll admit, the ending is pretty fucking stupid, but that's simply a minor complaint. The most common complaint I hear with this game is that it's just way too short. True, there's only 9 chapters, but they're all pretty damn solid, and all of them go on for a while. Sure, the game's pretty short, but it's so much fucking fun that you won't even really truly care about it. And because you can choose whatever chapter you want to play in the game at any time, there is a great deal of replayability here. Don't listen to the voice of the general public. This game is not bad in any sense. I wouldn't say Creature from the Krusty Krab is the best content-wise, but it's definitely worth the purchase. It's not perfect, but it's certainly not terrible either. So if you're wanting a break from all that typical video game logic, give Creature from the Krusty Krab a chance. It just might turn out to be one of your favorites. Prepare for a nostalgia bomb. Oh, holy sweet Mama Luigi, I love this game. At number 2, we have hands down the most nostalgic video game in my library, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman. There is only one title that this game can properly be labeled as, classic. It is utter classic. Being the first SpongeBob game released for more than one home console, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman was probably the most innovative of the entire collection. While Operation Krabby Patty was the first game to use a 3D engine, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman was the first one to utilize the 3D graphic capabilities to the fullest, with all of the locations being fully interactable with SpongeBob's 3D render. From then on, every single 3D SpongeBob game would be based around its engine, and it still hasn't changed in the overall design today. After all, you shouldn't really fix anything that's not broken. Of course, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman wouldn't be this high if it was merely for innovation. No, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman has more than just innovation under its virtual belt. And unlike Red and Blue, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman's innovation doesn't blanket its gameplay in archaic bullshit. First, I'll go over the plot synopsis. Knowing what the title of the game is, you should already get the idea. Having disturbed his rest and treasure, the Flying Dutchman hypnotizes all of SpongeBob's friends one by one to serve in his ghostly crew. Yeah, I don't get it either. On to gameplay. The gameplay is simple beyond belief, and anyone can pick up and play it with ease. As you probably figured, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is yet another 3D platformer, and it's pretty damn good. Unlike the other 3D SpongeBob platformers, Revenge of the Flying Dutchman only revolves around SpongeBob himself, rather than multiple characters at once. It truly is a SpongeBob-only adventure, with all the main characters having a specific role in the game. Now, even though SpongeBob is the only playable character, the developers made sure that they added a good variety of actions. One unique thing about Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is the changing tents found throughout the worlds. SpongeBob has a total of 4 different costumes in addition to his regular outfit. These costumes are the fishing gear, reef blower, karate gear, and the Mermaid Man costume. Respectively, most of these outfits have special uses for them. The fishing gear is used for catching jellyfish and hanging on to fishing hooks. The reef blower is used for pushing along certain objects and activating mechanisms. The karate gear is used for enhanced combat. And the Mermaid Man costume can throw water balls as long-distance projectiles. The best part is that you can wear these costumes at any time while exploring all 7 of the worlds. And all of them have their own special music tracks. My personal favorite is the Mermaid Man costume. As soon as I unlock this costume, I remain this way for the rest of the game. Except when I need to change. Man, I tell you, I've had some really good times with this game. Whether it be messing around in downtown's construction zone, or scaling the big top tent in Chum World, I love every single aspect put into this game. The music, the locations, and even the characters talking make me shed nostalgic tears every time I relive through it again. Don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with my own nostalgic memories. I better get to the bottom line. Revenge of the Flying Dutchman is simply one of the greatest SpongeBob games you can possibly get your hands on. Everything in this game pays homage to the TV show. Literally everything. Every single location, costume, character, and even the proper voice actors. Any true SpongeBob fan will love and appreciate this game. I just know it. It may not be the best game ever, but this is an absolute gem for anyone who grew up watching the cartoon. And that's pretty much all I can say for now. Thanks for the memories, SpongeBob. You'll always be special to me. While all the previous entries are really good in their own right, they don't even fucking touch the #1 spot. I'm gonna quote the demo man on this. There can be only one. Oh my god! Battle for Bikini Bottom is an absolute masterpiece. There was no other SpongeBob game that could take the #1 spot. Not even close. For those of you who haven't played it yet, I'll let you know what you're missing out on. Battle for Bikini Bottom is a 3D platformer that gives Banjo-Kazooie, Pac-Man World 2, and even the entire Mario franchise some hard-to-beat competition. I am not exaggerating. So, what exactly makes this game so damn good? Well, let's dive into it. Having devised another scheme to take over Bikini Bottom, Plankton creates an endless array of rebellious and fierce robot warriors to cause chaos and destruction throughout the entire sea. So SpongeBob, Patrick, and even Sandy must explore massive worlds, fight huge bosses, and collect dozens of golden spatulas in order to stop the gargantuan robot invasion. A simple concept, but it sure as hell works. With a total of 13 different worlds to explore, there is so much to see, so much to do, and so much to experience. The playable characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, and for the first time ever, Sandy. All three of them play differently, and all of them have their own awesome movesets, dialogue, and role in the boss fights. I feel I should mention that this game introduced so many elements to the video game series that it's not even a joking matter. The Bubble Bowl, the Cruise Bubble, the Uppercut Bash, literally every standard action in later SpongeBob games are all based around the moves introduced in Battle for Bikini Bottom. Every memorable location from the show is present, except for Glove World. Whether it be the gloomy kelp forest, the epicness of the Murmelair, or even SpongeBob's very own subconscious, there is not one location that gives me boredom. Now, if you played Battle for Bikini Bottom, you could probably think that it copies the same formula as Banjo-Kazooie. Well, you'd be correct. Collecting a certain number of objects to return to a certain character, 100 golden objects that are scattered throughout, it's the exact same formula. Well, that may be true, but that doesn't make it bad or even unoriginal. It's merely using it as a template. It's not plagiarism at all. After all, every single one of the objectives that must be accomplished in order to earn a golden spatula is unique and borrows only from the TV show it's based off of, meaning Battle for Bikini Bottom does its job exceptionally well. Every single character, every single location, every single bit of spongy awesomeness jam-packed into this one glorious disc. It's everything a SpongeBob fan could possibly ask for. In fact, Battle for Bikini Bottom is so damn good that I feel it should get the honor of being called the greatest licensed video game in history. Seriously, not even Arkham City can compete with this game.
What?
Yeah, I said it. With so much faith to the source material, an epic and original soundtrack, huge worlds, outstanding boss battles, numerous references to the show, superb graphics, solid gameplay, and a downright crazy amount of fun that can be had, Battle for Bikini Bottom is nothing but the total package. You know what? I've made up my mind. I'm gonna say it right now. I am Fawful's Minion, and Battle for Bikini Bottom is my favorite 3D platformer of all time. Yeah, no kidding. I realize that SpongeBob's not a show for everyone, but if you can appreciate tons of effort put into a game, then you will love Battle for Bikini Bottom. I have no doubts about it. Well, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm not sure if I changed any of your minds about SpongeBob, but I still hope you enjoyed the video. See you all next time.